Carlos Alcaraz had a great opportunity on the hard court tour through the United States to get closer to the world number one, but things did not go as expected. Instead of cutting points from Jannik Sinner, the Mercian saw how the Italian's advantage remains firm despite his absence due to suspension. What does this setback mean for Alcaraz? How does it affect his path to the top of the ATP ranking? Let's find out what has happened and what awaits the Spaniard in the clay court season. The double sunshine, made up of the Masters 1000 of Indian Wells and Miami, was the ideal stage for Carlos Alcaraz to take advantage of Jannik Sinner's absence and cut points in the race for the world number one. However, the American tour left a bitter taste for the Mercian. In Indian Wells, he managed to reach the semifinals but fell to Jack Draper, who later became the champion. In Miami, the surprise was even greater. He lost in the second round to David Goffin, an unexpected result that left him without options to earn valuable points. The defeat in Miami was a hard blow, as in 2024, Alcaraz only reached the quarterfinals, meaning he had room to improve his score. However, by falling so early, he ended up losing 190 points in the ATP ranking. On the other hand, Alexander Zverev also failed to capitalize on Sinner's absence, staying in the round of 16 in Miami and losing 300 points in the process. Paradoxically, despite his suspension, Jannik Sinner continues to comfortably lead the ATP ranking. The Italian lost 1,000 points for not being able to defend his title in Miami, but his advantage remains solid. Currently, Sinner leads the ranking with 10,330 points, followed by Zverev with 7,645 and Alcaraz with 6,720. Behind them, Taylor Fritz and Novak Djokovic took advantage of the American tour to add points, with 390 and 650, respectively, closing in on the ranking. This situation leaves Alcaraz in a difficult position ahead of the clay court tour. Although clay is his favorite surface and where he has historically achieved great results, he will now have the pressure to earn many points if he wants to stay in the race for number one. Furthermore, Sinner's absence turns out to be a double-edged sword. While he did not compete these months, he will return with a comfortable lead and the opportunity to extend it if he achieves good results in his comeback. Alcaraz's clay court calendar has undergone some adjustments. Initially, his team had decided not to play the Masters 1000 in Monte Carlo, but after the early elimination in Miami, everything indicates that he will participate in the tournament. Thus, his roadmap would include Monte Carlo, Barcelona, Madrid, and Roland Garros, while Rome could be the tournament discarded to give him a break before the second Grand Slam of the year. One of the key points for the Mercian will be to regain confidence and find his best version in important moments. In recent tournaments, he has shown some inconsistency, something that has cost him unexpected defeats. To fight for number one, he must be more consistent in his performance and prove why he is one of the best players in the world on clay. The outlook is clear. If Alcaraz wants to stay in the race for the top of the ATP ranking, he will need an almost perfect clay court tour. Not only must he win titles, but he must also ensure not to drop points in key tournaments such as Barcelona and Madrid, where he could not compete in 2024 due to injury. If he manages to win these events, he will have a real chance to close the gap with Sinner before Roland Garros. The hard court tour through the United States has been a missed opportunity for Carlos Alcaraz. Instead of cutting points from Sinner, he saw how the Italian remains the leader despite his suspension. Now, the Mercian faces a huge challenge in the clay court season. He needs to regain his best form and earn as many points as possible if he wants to stay in the fight for the world number one. Ilia Topuria has become a phenomenon inside and outside the octagon. His success in the UFC and his winning mentality have caught the attention of other great Spanish athletes. Carlos Alcaraz, considered the future of world tennis, has confessed on several occasions that Topuria motivates him in his daily life. "He's a real machine," said the Mercian, highlighting the effort and dedication of the fighter. It is no coincidence that Alcaraz, who has shown great mental strength in key moments of his career, sees Topuria as an example to follow. But Alcaraz is not the only one. Jorge Martin, current MotoGP world champion, has also expressed his admiration for Ilia. In a recent interview, the Madrid-born rider revealed that before his races, when nerves are at their peak, he usually watches motivational videos of Topuria. For him, the fighter is a reference for sacrifice and discipline, values that also apply in the daily lives of the best athletes in the world. In response to these displays of admiration, Ilia Topuria reacts with the same humility and respect. In his latest interview for Men's Health, the Spanish champion assured that, far from feeling superior, he is also inspired by athletes like Alcaraz and Martin. "I adore all of them. The truth is that they also motivate and inspire me a lot," he confessed. For Topuria, These athletes are not only great competitors in their disciplines but also represent an example for the entire world, thanks to their effort and perseverance. What makes Ilia Topuria special is not just his talent in fighting but his mentality. His philosophy is summed up in a phrase he has repeated on several occasions: "There is a group of bastards working as if there were no tomorrow. So you better work much harder than them, because in life there are few opportunities, and those who are willing to sacrifice themselves take them." This way of seeing life in sports is what has taken Ilia to the top and what makes other athletes take him as a reference. Behind his success is a story of sacrifice. Unlike other sports where the support of sponsors and academies can make a difference, in the octagon, everything depends on the fighter. It doesn't matter whose son, cousin, or brother you are, it's just you alone against your opponent, just the two of you in there, Topuria explained in his interview. This mentality of self-sufficiency and absolute responsibility is something he shares with other great athletes like Alcaraz and Martin, who have built their paths through effort and discipline. It is precisely this determination that unites them and makes them stand out in their respective disciplines. Alcaraz in tennis, Martin in MotoGP, and Topuria in the UFC have shown that talent alone is not enough. Success comes with sacrifice, hard work, and the ability to stay focused on their goals. Each of them has had to overcome obstacles, defeats, and difficult moments, but they have known how to turn those experiences into fuel to keep moving forward. The mutual admiration between these athletes is not only a reflection of the respect they have for each other but also proof that success is not achieved alone. Being inspired by others, learning from their experiences, and sharing that winning mentality is key to reaching the top. In a world as competitive as professional sports, surrounding oneself with positive examples can make the difference between being good and being a legend. Ilia Topuria, Carlos Alcaraz, and Jorge Martin are proof that success is not a matter of luck but of work, sacrifice, and mentality. Their mutual admiration reflects the values that have taken them to the top and make them role models inside and outside their sports. It seems that Netflix has found the perfect star for its new docuseries in Carlos Alcaraz. With Carlos Alcaraz, a mi manera, tennis and sports fans, in general, will have the opportunity to dive into the life of one of the most promising athletes of his generation. The series will provide a unique look at his journey, revealing the sacrifices, challenges, and triumphs that have shaped his career. One of the most exciting aspects of Carlos Alcaraz, a mi manera, is the unprecedented access to his daily life. Viewers will see his intense training sessions, his interactions with his team, and the moments of relaxation that help him stay focused amid the pressures of elite competition. Through exclusive interviews with Alcaraz, his coach Juan Carlos Ferrero, and other key figures in his career, the series will offer a complete portrait of the young star. Beyond the trophies and records, the docuseries will highlight the emotional and mental aspects of being a top-level athlete. What does it take to stay at the top? How does he handle expectations and setbacks? What motivates him to keep pushing forward? These are some of the questions that Carlos Alcaraz, a mi manera, aims to answer. Netflix has already seen success with sports documentaries like Breakpoint, which focuses on the ATP and WTA circuits, and La Liga, Más allá del gol, which explores Spanish football. Now, with Alcaraz as the protagonist, the streaming platform continues to expand its catalog of inspiring sports stories. For Alcaraz, this series is a way to connect with his fans on a deeper level. People will get to see everything that happens behind the scenes, things that are not visible on a tennis court. It's something very different, and I hope they enjoy this series as much as I did, the Merchant shared in a recent interview. The production will also emphasize the importance of family, discipline, and resilience in Alcaraz's journey. From his beginnings in El Palmar, Murcia, to his rise as the youngest world number one in history, Carlos Alcaraz, a mi manera, will showcase the reality of what it takes to reach the pinnacle of professional sports. The series is set to premiere on April 23, and anticipation is growing among fans eager to see a new side of their favorite tennis star. With never-before-seen footage and an intimate narrative, Carlos Alcaraz, a mi manera, promises to be a must-watch for sports enthusiasts and anyone looking for a story of passion, dedication, and success. If you've ever wondered what it takes to reach the top in sports, this docuseries will provide the answer. And the best part? Alcaraz's story is just beginning.